Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thanks. Number one, I have a sinus infection, so I'm sorry if my voice gets super annoying. But today, we're going to talk about workers' rights. So a little bit about it. On December 29th, 1970, Nixon signed the OSHA Act. It created, one, OSHA as an agency, uniform workplace regulations, workers' rights, and a legal responsibility to provide a safe and healthful workplace. In 1911, 146 employees died in Triangle Shirtwaist Company fire. They died because all the doors in the building were locked and they didn't have any fire escapes. So OSHA was created to prevent tragedies such as that. So it's created to protect you, the worker. Its mission is to save lives, prevent injuries, and protect the health of America's workers. It covers private sector employees, religious groups that employ workers for secular purposes, and most other fields. Develops job safety and health standards and enforces these standards through worksite inspections, maintains reporting and record-keeping systems to keep track of job-related injuries and illnesses, and provides training programs to increase knowledge about occupational health and safety. OSHA does not cover the self-employed, immediate members of farming families not employing outside workers, mine workers, certain truckers and transportation workers, atomic energy workers who are covered by other federal agencies, or public employees in state and local governments. They're usually covered under other types of agencies, apart from OSHA. So under this, you have the right to a safe and healthful workplace, the right to know and understand about hazardous chemicals, know information about injuries and illnesses in your workplace, complain or request hazard correction from your employer, receive safety training, review exposure and medical records, file a complaint with OSHA, participate in an OSHA inspection, and be free from retaliation or for exercising safety and health rights. So you have the right to know about chemical hazards in the workplace and how to protect yourself from them. Employers must inform and train workers about hazardous chemicals, and this training must be provided free of charge. Safety data sheets about each hazardous chemical must be available. So we do this through our SDSs, our safety data sheets, that are in the CAB books, and through HAZCOM training. Employers must have a written, complete hazard communication plan, provide you with safety data sheets about each chemical, include a list of hazardous chemicals in each work area. So in Casper, our SDSs are available downstairs at the window in the shop and in all our truck cab binders. And if you're looking for the HAZCOM plan, it's in our health and safety manual. OSHA requires companies to keep injury and illness records, so you have a right to review those records. If you're ever curious, you can contact safety or compliance. Employers must report any serious work-related injury or illness on OSHA 300 forms. Post a summary of this form every year, which is February 1st through April 30th. You have the right to receive and review a copy of that log, and your employer must provide it if you request it within 1 business day. You guys are super quiet today. So, got to work together to create a safe and healthful workplace. So make sure you're reporting unsafe or unhealthful working conditions. You can't be punished for filing a complaint. It's against the law for an employer to take any of the following actions because you did report a work hazard. Can't transfer you, deny a raise, reduce your hours, or fire you. Obviously, we take safety very seriously, and we won't retaliate in any way if you bring up any concerns for your or any other employee's safety. If you feel we are negligent, you have the right to file a complaint with OSHA. You just call them and speak with an OSHA compliance manager. To find out OSHA's action on the compliant, make sure you request a review if an inspection is not made, and your privacy will always be protected. OSHA won't reveal your name unless you request that you would like them to. You have the right to participate in an OSHA inspection. Have your representative accompany the inspector on the inspection. Talk to the inspector privately. Point out hazards. Describe injuries, illness, or near misses that resulted from those hazards. Describe any concern you have about a safety or health issue. Find out about inspection results and abatement measures. Get involvement in any meetings or hearings related to the inspection, object to the set date for the violation to be corrected, and receive notice if the employer files a contest. Worker responsibility. These rights also carry to workers. Make sure you're complying with occupational health and safety standards. Regulations and orders apply to you. Follow all appropriate safety and health rules. Wear protective equipment while working. And OSHA protects you, but you must also protect yourself. So make sure you're looking out for yourself and your coworkers. We're going to do everything we can to protect you guys, but ultimately, you guys are the ones who are doing the job. And remember, PPE is your last line of defense. It's not your first. Processes, procedures, controls, those are all your first lines. So make sure you're thinking about that when you're doing your jobs. On to November safety topics. I haven't changed this board here yet, but I did change the one out there, is adverse weather. Remember, adverse weather isn't just winter weather. It's all adverse conditions, so that can happen any time of the year. Make sure you're watching the sky, looking for fronts moving in. Make sure you're using your Wyoming 511 app to check for road conditions when you're out there. That gets updated in real time. Again, we have some more trivia this week. Who can tell me when OSHA was enacted?
December 29th, 70.
70, yes.
Nixon?
Nixon, yeah. Why was it formed?
Protect workers.
Protect workers.
People died in a fire?
Yes. That was actually in 1911, but...
Oh, not terrible.
What were the statistics in 1970 compared to today? Obviously, that's in deaths. Death statistics. Any guesses?
1,000 to 1.
This is a very vague question, isn't it? So, in 1970 for the year, 14,000 workers were killed on the job, which is about 38 every day. And today, 2016 was when this study was done. So then in 2016, it was down to 5,190, which is about 14 a day. And that's with U.S. employment doubling to over 145 million workers. So that's pretty good. And then why do we talk about this today, workers' rights?
So employees know that they have the right to work in a safe workplace.
Yes. Okay, Kyle, did you want to touch on witches' hats?
Yeah, does everybody know what a witch's hat is in here?
That little black thing goes on that
You are not wrong. Witch's hat, make sure you all have one. Ask the shop for one. It goes inside your hose. You don't need a sight glass because you don't need to know where the water and the oil. Sight glasses are for the water haulers. We just need to know if it's plugging up, and you can tell by suction in your sight glass on your truck. So please make sure you have one. It's a fine over at Casper Sinclair for us. If we bring in ice, it's just like bringing in water. Same deal. So we got to make sure we're all using witches' hats.
H2S classes in Gillette. I will be there next Wednesday on the 13th. Obviously, this doesn't apply to any of you in this room, but I will be there the 13th from 11 to 3. There's a few of you that don't need to be there. I just need some papers signed, and we'll go over like fatigue awareness and Destination Zero, but you don't have to be there for the whole H2S and everything because you're already caught up, so good for you. But that is next week, November 13th. Again, all tickets must be left in your trucks for residue. It's the law, so make sure you have one in there. Samson is still not happy with tank tops and thief hatches, so make sure you're cleaning them up. Obviously, if you go up there and it's not clean, clean it up, and then make sure you're cleaning up after yourself after you do your work as well. I can't believe we have to say this. Use the bathroom facilities provided. They're there for a reason. Don't go next to Getty boxes or other buildings and things like that. I cannot believe we have to put this in a safety meeting.
Or in a bucket.
Or in a bucket. Use a bathroom. They're there for a purpose.
If you do go in a bucket, please don't bring it in the shower. Yeah.
So on that note, I'm honestly a little butthurt because we didn't get a cake today, and it's my birthday. But shameless plug right there. Shameless plug. Thank you. And that's all I have.
And not having a witch's hat will not be an excuse because supervisors will have some on their pickups. So we will after tonight.
If we have any.
If we have any.
So
Okay.
just go over the procedure for witch's hats, and if we do plug off the ice and we remove our hose and find it's ice, we shut down immediately there, clear the load line back in the tank.
Yep.
Take it for what we hauled and
Move on. Go split it somewhere else.
put it in the driver's hose as well. So that there's ice in the tank.
I don't think they can hear you.
I've got to clean it once. Next time.
Yeah, usually you do it 2 or 3 times, and if you're still getting ice, then you know you got a serious problem.
So is that what you want? Clean it 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, I mean it's not just one. Ice, you know. Let's.
15 barrels, I'm done.
I mean, come on, we're in the customer service industry.
Use some common sense.
Yes.
In other words.
Alrighty dighty. That's all I have. Anybody else? Make sure you sign the roster, otherwise you don't get credit. Make sure your comment is on YouTube or you don't get credit. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.